Social shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's some social shit for everyone, you know what I'm saying? Like, I made this be myself, so hit me. Woo! I mean, like, we can pull that clown shit away. This some real shit for you. I'm spazzing right now, so listen, let's go. Yeah. It's in their bones, the thugs in harmony for the love of the money. Then fall victim for the cookie, then turn pussy, it's lonely. You said you hold it down when life get rough, we're here now, so show me. We move them losses to them wins. Heavy pounds, we make it ends meet. Converse with only a few who make me feel like I be 10 feet.
Yes, peeps, we are back. We're back in the damn building. We're here with another episode of the Euro Club Fourfold. Apologies, I have not done one of these episodes for a little while, but I said, you know, we'll take a little mid-season review of all the teams, and then we can get back up and running as of next week. I'll make sure that I will bring this out on a specific day every week, like I was doing prior to that. But obviously, we're here today. We are going to take a look at Bayern Munich, Juventus, Barca, and Lyon. So let's start off with Bayern Munich. So far, you know, this season going pretty well, if I'm being totally honest with you. Currently sitting top of the Bundesliga on 51 points. You can see they're 6 points ahead of Bayern Leverkusen, even further away from Frankfurt and RB Leipzig in the table. At the moment, if I'm being totally honest with you, I wouldn't even say they're the best played team. That's the maddest thing. Like, I actually do like the way that Leverkusen has been playing. I also like the way that Stuttgart and Mainz play, actually, to be honest with you. The couple of games that I've caught of them two teams, it's kind of surprised me. So, yeah, it's weird. But ultimately, Bayern Munich or Bayern Munich, Vincent Kompany, you know, coming in, you know, this season, he's got a lot to live up to, if I'm being totally honest with you. And, you know, this could be the first time he goes, you know, to a big club, goes there, potentially winning, you know, a trophy in his first season. You know, he can't go wrong. In the Champions League, though, look, they're through to the playoff round, which technically would have just been the round of 32 in most other seasons. But ultimately, you know, now some teams obviously, you know, qualified straight for the next round of that Champions League or Europa League or whatever competition, you know, that they are in. But they're going to be facing off. I can't remember actually who they've got in the Champions League in itself. I know that Real Madrid have got Manchester City, so they're just lucky that they've avoided them. I can't remember who it is, but I'm sure when I read it, it was someone I thought to myself, you know what, listen, you've just got to make it through into that last 16. And then, of course, that's where the real competition, you know, kind of takes place. But I've been disappointed with them in the league phase of the Champions League. I will be honest with you. I do think that, yeah, just under, you know, they lost, 3-0 to Feyenoord. You know, I was looking at that thinking, ish, you know, I know they won their next game after that 3-1, but that was against Bratislava. Like, I expect you to absolutely slap them. To be honest, I even expect you not to actually, concede a goal or anything like that. But the reality is, you know, you kind of did. So yeah, not really been too best pleased with them in the Champions League. But listen, they're through to that last 32, if you want to call it that. So, you know, it kind of is what it is. So far this season, I would say one player who's kind of stood out for me. I would say it should be Jamal Musiala. He's my favorite player anyway, so I might just be being biased. Harry Kane not really been performing that well. I know it took him, it was a long time since he actually scored from open play until the other day, actually, to be honest with you. So yeah, Elise, you know, he's been really good, a really, really good signing, you know, for them. But I think Jamal Musiala has been the kind of one that I've looked at so far, you know, this season and thought, you know what, he has actually been, you know, a bit of a standout. And then, of course, you know, Vincent Kompany, as I said, you know, coming in this season, so far, so good. I will say that much. I will say that much. So far, so good. It's going to be an interesting second half of the season. I think what he does in the Champions League is going to really set the tone, if I'm being honest with you, because obviously he's not managed in, like, you know, for a big club like Bayern Munich in the Champions League. So the expectancy levels that they're going to have, it's going to be interesting to see how he kind of copes with that, if I'm being 100% honest. But listen, let's wait and see. We'll take it from there, moving into the second half of the season. I would give them, I'll probably give them maybe a 7 out of 10. Yeah, I'd say, yeah, maybe like a 7 out of 10, you know, so far. I mean, they're doing well in Bundesliga. They are technically through to the next round at 6.57 out of 10. I think that's kind of what I would kind of go for. Now, let's move on to Juventus. Juventus. They are very interesting. I think like they are actually super duper interesting when I think about them. I don't even know in terms of just them in a general sense, right? This season, I mean, you can see here, obviously, they're sitting fifth in the table, but they've got 13 draws this season. Like, it's actually mad when I actually think about it. When you actually deep it, 13 draws. That is crazy. I mean, they finished 20th in the Champions League, groups. Like, they were pants. Like, and I'll be so honest with you, they've been pants this season, in my personal opinion. I've not been impressed with Juventus at all, with the manager, and obviously we'll speak about him in a sec. It's just not being good enough in my personal. I mean, you're 14 points off of the top. That's a lot of points. And the thing is, they don't lose. They're not losing games like a lot. Anyways, I mean, I know they lost their last two against both Benfica and Juventus, Napoli. Sorry, they've lost two of the last three games. I hear it, and then obviously drew to Club Brugge, but they beat AC Milan, and it's like they're so weird. Like it's honestly, like I don't even know how to explain Juventus, but you've heard me talk about them in previous episodes about some of their players. We spoke at the beginning of the season about their signings and all these kind of things, and I was like, yeah, you know what? I thought that they would be able to at least like try and kick on and stuff like that. But bro, it is just not happening whatsoever, in my personal opinion. And I've been very, very disappointed, so far, with Juventus. Obviously, they got a new signing in. They needed it. I told everybody at the beginning, and everybody said, nah, man, nah, Vlahojevic. No, forget Vlahojevic, bro. I promise you, the guy's not that good. He's not that good, man. And like maybe there was once upon a time, maybe like he had his period. He had a moment, so to speak. But now, nah, man, like Vlahojevic is not that guy. I'll be honest with you. He's really, really not that guy for me. And obviously, they've got in Kolo Muani. I believe it's on a loan deal. I also think they got in Lloyd Kelly as well. So, yeah, I mean, they're trying to, I guess he's trying different things. I know there was talk about potentially Douglas Luiz, moving away from Juventus. Things not really working out, for him as well. I don't know, man. Like Juve, listen, Mwani's come in. I think he's played 2 games. He's got 3 goals so far. He's doing his thing. Do you know what I mean? And I think he might be in my opinion, he's going to be a better option for them than a Vlahovic, however you want to pronounce it. But yeah, I honestly, they need a really big, second half of the season. Thiago Motta, especially, right now, he's really not living up to it. I'll be honest. I think he's underwhelmed massively for Juventus. Style of play, everything about them right now is just screaming, yeah, this ain't it. Like whatever you was doing before at your previous club, you're not doing it here. It just doesn't seem to work. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. Drawing games, 13 draws in the league, by the way. 13 draws. What was it? 22 games that you've played? You've drawn 13 times. Come on, bro. That's ridiculous. That is what I expect from like the bottom kind of teams. And we'd be looking at that as a good thing because you'd be like, at least you're not losing. At least you're not losing. With him, nah, I'm honestly, I'm just not really feeling it. I'll give them a 2. I'll give them a 2 because they're lucky not getting a 1. I expected so much more from Juventus, and I'm just not seeing it. I'm really, really not seeing it. So yeah, let's wait and see on that one. Now moving on to Barcelona. My team, my guys, currently sitting third. Was upset with this because ultimately, look, they're only 4 points off of the top. I get that, but they were sitting top. Not to probably even on the last episode of what I did here. If not, then it was maybe the one before that, episode 12 to 13. Pretty sure they were top and they were looking, really, really good. Kind of fallen off a little bit in terms of the results and things like that. Obviously, really good in the Champions League. Literally only finished behind Liverpool, by 2 points. So listen, did really well in the Champions League in itself. So can give them some brownie points for that. In their last 5 games, you can kind of see here, they're getting back to some good victories. Drew 2-2 with Atalanta, which kind of messed them up for finishing top after Liverpool lost. Obviously beat Deportivo Alaves 1-0, 5-4 against Benfica. That was a crazy match. If you guys haven't seen it, make sure you do. 7-1 against, Valencia. yeah, it's just been a bit weird recently, if I'm being totally honest with you, when it comes to when it does come to Barcelona. Just it's just been, I wouldn't say up and down. That's maybe not the right word for it, but I would say, yeah, it's just been the wave that they were riding at the beginning of the season has slowly just kind of leveled itself out like now I look at it and think to myself, it's still a good team. They scored, listen, a bucket load of goals. I'm sure they scored the most around in the top 5 leagues in Europe anyway, and I'm not surprised. When you've got players like Rafinha, when you've got players like Lewandowski, Lamine Yamal, Dani Olmo, and etc., etc., I kind of expect that. But it's still been a little bit like defensively at times that they have been left wanting. Rafinha, obviously, he's been excellent. There's talks about him potentially being up for a Ballon d'Or. I don't see that happening unless Barcelona win the Champions League or something like that. Then I would definitely see, if they win Champions League, he will definitely win the Ballon d'Or because he would have been their best player, and he has been their best player, this season. And it's like I said, just in regards to Barcelona and Hansi Flick. Listen, it's just one of those things, it's still, I wouldn't even say like teething problems, so to speak. It is just, in my opinion, just more of a case of, okay, like, I mean, like I'm still kind of getting acclimatized with the team and everything like that, and what's kind of going on. And we was riding a wave and we were doing really well in that kind of moment. But listen, it's almost like a slap back to reality, almost, I feel, for Barcelona. So yeah, it's just really one of those kind of things. Last but not least, Lyon. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Taking a look here, at Lyon. Obviously, you can see where they are on the league table. Currently sitting 7th, 20 points off the top. So, yeah, maybe we can. Maybe there won't be any like title charge or anything, like that. I'll be, totally honest with you. Obviously, sacked their manager, which was interesting. We'll get onto that in a minute. In the Europa League, though, doing really, really well. Just in regards to Barcelona, I think I would have given them maybe like a 7 as well, by the way. But yeah, in regards to like Lyon, really well in the Europa League, should I say? Sorry, qualified straight through to the playoff round, so really, really good from them. No wins in their last 5 matches, so lots of draws. I think you see 4 draws in a row, and then losing to Marseille. So again, Lyon have got this kind of. They've been like this though. They've been like this season. Go for a really, really good patch, then it's like a meaty patch, which will be I guess considered meaty just because you didn't lose, apart from the game against Marseille, and then you might be starting a bad patch now, kind of thing. It's just very, very weird, man. Rayon Cherki looked like he was going to go to Dortmund at one stage. I think from what I read, it's obviously the deal didn't go through, but it's because they couldn't really agree anything. Fair enough. You wouldn't really want to let that kind of talent go, especially for the money. And they couldn't negotiate a fee. So it's like, fair enough. It's going to be interesting to see what happens to him in the summer, especially with Lyon and the whole financial situation. Potential threat of relegation. Like, yeah, it is a little bit mad. And as I said before, obviously, look, they sacked their manager, which I thought was absolutely crazy as to why they did that. They're sitting in 6. Well, they were sitting in 6, I believe, when they did sack him. So I was really, really confused as to why they felt they needed to do that. Obviously, got in a new manager now, and it's like Paul Finesca. Paolo Finesca. Sorry. I don't know what this means. Like, I don't really get it. In terms of why they needed to bring in a new manager. Is it? I mean, listen, it could be a stroke of like a genius. When you look at it, heck, they might even be looking at it potentially because they could obviously still get Champions League next season, and they don't necessarily have to finish high in the league. They could just win the Europa League, then you get Champions League football, bring all the money. I don't know. Like, are they trying to play 3D chess? Like, I don't get it. I really, really don't get it. But listen, let's wait and see. Obviously, it's difficult to really judge him, if I'm being totally honest with you. So I'm not going to at this current moment in time. I'll wait a few more weeks and then take it from there. But yeah, for me, it was a weird decision. But maybe they might be vindicated come the end of the season. And it's going to be interesting to see with this whole financial situation what's obviously going to happen next. But yeah, man, we'll wait and see. I'll give them a 5 average. Yeah, I'll give them a They did good in Europa League. I'll give them a 6. 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 Just above average. Just not being nice. Just not being nice. But let me know your thoughts, people, in the comment section. What do you guys think of the 4 teams so far? How well do you think they have done? How well do you think they will do come the end of the season? Let me know in the comment section, people, and we'll catch you next week for episode 16.